Welcome. We are on the Honest Roofer podcast. We're here with Brandon, and we are going to talk about your roof. So, our major goal is to help people that have roofs know about their roofs, and then also like, hey, we want to like interview possibly some contractors. I'm going to try to interview a guy I know who works for I think it's called SWD. I think they do a lot of coding stuff for.
All right.
So, maybe you can be on that one too. Like, I haven't finalized like when we'll be able to talk. But I think it'd be cool to like talk to some people, like some manufacturers and some contractors and all that stuff. So I think one of the things I want to talk about a little bit is like flat roofs, like the difference between a flat roof and a pitched roof. Maybe talk a little bit about that. What's your do you have many flat roofs in Indiana?
Yes, we have rubber, we have TPO. Normally TPO is normally it's commercial. And then you got rubber more is residential. So I mean they kind of weigh out the differences, pretty much the same thing, but one's thicker than the other, more or less.
Okay.
And actually lay down totally different. One's got to be heated and one doesn't.
Awesome. And Christian is right over my shoulder. You can't see him because of the background, but he's listening to us. So
Well, I
cool.
mean, my kid, he's finally sleeping.
Yeah, that's awesome. So then, like, what are some of the things that people can do to like inspect their own roof? What are some things that they can do to like extend the light? Like, what is something like, hey, that could be a problem over time?
So more and less, it all depending. Like your pitch matters, your shingles, your rubber, how thickness of your rubber. I mean, it all depending, Mark. It really does. So, like, what you look for is like hail damage. If there's hail damage, or it's just old age, which is they call them. I call them spider eyes, more and less. Um, so it all depending, Mark. Really, it's hard to vary because it all depending on the shingles really or the rubber.
Yeah, like with flat roofs, at least around here, a lot of them don't have shingles. They just have the rubberized stuff or whatever. You know what I mean? Whatever the coating is that they put on. And you see it a lot like in maybe like duplexes and there's certain houses that have flat roofs also. But
Yeah, all depending.
yeah, so cool. So spider eyes, this is like microfractures. I was reading something too about like you'll sometimes get bubbles. I don't know if that happens after the fact or if that's a problem with the application when they first do it.
So you can, so it all depending on, so a lot of people don't, a lot of contractors don't know either, so it all depending on the color of the glue. So like when it starts drying, really you just kind of want to wait maybe an extra 5 more minutes, then comply your rubberized roof.
So when you say comply, what does that mean?
More or less lay it down.
Okay. And you're doing that with big rollers or big brushes or what do
No,
you
you can
use?
use it. I mean, it either or. So, I mean, we do it by hand.
Okay.
We
Like with a
rub it out.
brush?
So, like, no, we rub it out with our hands. We like move it around. Basically, so if there is any bubbles, we can catch it before we have any more bubbles.
Okay. And then you just kind of press it out,
Yeah, pretty much.
kind of like in the
Sometimes, like, if let's say you already laid down the whole thing, I mean, you can rip it all up if you want, but you're looking at some money. But now, then you got to pop the bubble, and then you got to put a patch over it. Well, which is that don't look good, and that'll create more problems later on.
So people sometimes if they're dealing with somebody who's not really good at it might have some bubbles under there and then uh so like how would like a homeowner know? Like they'd have to go up on their own roof like after it was done and make sure like, hey, you did a bad job at the beginning, or how would that work?
So more or less, a homeowner would have to basically climb up there and look at it. Not exactly. I would not look at it the day that they do, but like wait 2 or 3 days. That's when bubbles really start showing up.
Okay. And then like what's your recourse? Let's say that you have a contract with the roofer. What would be a homeowner's recourse? Like, hey, this wasn't done up to snuff, or what would be something that they could do about it?
I would call the contractor to ask some questions, bring them out on the property, and examine the property with them. say, hey, why is it bubbling or so forth. I mean, most contractors do have a workmanship warranty, so it's more or less I would ask them about that.
Okay, good to know. Like I don't even know if I would know about that. So and then with like a flat roof, typically you're like right above the ceiling, right? So with a pitch,
Yeah,
you've got like here in Arizona, I noticed that they do a lot more where they've got, first of all, we do concrete tile a lot with
right.
just underlayment of felt. I don't typically when like I'll go out on this new construction out here and it's all just felt paper. It's no like I don't see any, water and ice, which I don't know, how important that is here, but I don't know if that's the difference. You know what I mean? I know that I see a lot of people like in the Midwest and they're putting on shingles. They're doing ice and water for a couple rolls, then they're putting something else in the middle.
Which is I call that water protection. So you do 2 rows of ice and water. Maybe sometimes you have to do 3, depending on the overhang.
Okay.
So, and then you do ice and water, and then you also do felt paper. They call it felt paper, but I call it water protection. That's just me personally.
Yeah, because I've seen some that aren't like that old school black tar paper felt, whatever you want to call
Yeah,
it.
which is you can rip it by hand.
Yeah.
That's
But
that
but
generic stuff back in the old days, what they used to
but
use.
like I see it everywhere here. Like I said, there's new construction going on right by me, and that's all that they're doing is they got tar paper, whatever you call it, thin little strip of wood for nailing the concrete tile on top of it.
Yeah,
So
which that's crazy.
so, but
I don't know.
I
I
see
mean,
like
obviously, I would need to come out there. You know what I mean? Though,
yeah.
but I
I'll,
want
I'll
to.
go film one here in a little bit. I'll walk and go video some, but it's just interesting how different things happen in different parts of the country. You know what I mean? Like I said, in the Phoenix area, I definitely don't see, at least on new construction, I don't see it. I saw an older house getting redone. So a lot of times what they got to do is they got to take the tile off, stack it up, and then roll out stuff and then put it all back down. And
Yeah,
they were using some sort of blue underlayment on it. So I don't know exactly what that was, but I'm guessing it's something like felt, maybe better. I don't know. So
yeah. I mean, like the felt paper that I put on, you can't rip it by hand. It's impossible. So there's actually 5 layers of like basically paper together, and it keeps it watertight. That's why I call it water protection.
yeah. And like I said, I've seen some other people doing roofing jobs and they have some different colored stuff. You know what I mean? It'll be white also, kind of like and I don't know what systems those are or any of that stuff, but
It's probably depending on the manufacturer company, so it all depending on the product that you're installing. So it's wherever they're getting the product from.
like I've been reading a little bit too, like a lot of manufacturers want you to use like all of their products, some of you know what I mean? Like they have to have at least 5 things to keep the warranty, or I don't like I was reading that somewhere. I don't know exactly what that means.
Man, I install IKO shingles, and which is I have to have 3 products of theirs to
Keep
consider
the
that.
warranty.
Yeah,
Perfect. And like most homeowners aren't going to need to know that unless they're doing their own. They're going to DIY their own, which is possible, but just know what you're doing before you get on the roof and start doing stuff like that.
yeah. I see a lot of homeowners are trying to do insurance claims on their own. I see a lot of homeowners turn around and within 2 years they have to call me right back and say, "Hey, we need a new roof." And I'm like, "Yeah, I told you like 2 years ago." I'm like, "You should have just hired me at the first round." So now it's gonna cost you X amount of money this time. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So getting somebody who knows what they're doing, I think, is really important. Unless you're really going to study it, and there's definitely people that could do that. But once again, know what you're doing before you get on your roof and start.
Make sure you do your shed in your backyard first before you do your house.
Yeah, exactly. So, what else do you think people need to know about their own roofs? Like, what's some good like preventative stuff? Like on my roof, like I've been up there and I got a tree and I got a bunch of crap on there, and like I've been going up there and cleaning it and stuff like that. So,
I would make sure you maintain your roof as like cleaning, and if you have valleys, which is you could have leaves built up in the valleys or the gutters, Make sure you put some gutter guards on. That'll help a lot of prevention to keep leaves up there. Just make sure if you look around and it doesn't look normal, like if you got a shingle flipped up, call a contractor, say, hey, I got a shingle flipped up. Can we do a repair or not a repair? Or, hey, can we do an insurance claim? I don't know, more and less like make sure it's kind of, if it looks odd, call a contractor and ask them questions, more or less.
Yeah.
That'd be my recommendation.
And even here, like I was showing you, like there's not many gutters around here. You know what I mean? Like it's got that funky little thing at the it's just got little holes where the water comes off the, I don't even know what that's called. Looks like sheet metal, just
So
kind
a lot of times I actually in my quotes that I do, I actually offer that service to put up gutter guards. While I'm here, I might as well put up the gutter guards or put up the gutters as well.
yeah. And like I'm saying, like in Phoenix, I don't see gutters a lot. Like new construction is usually gutter, or the system's different. You know what I mean? It's not the same as like what I think of as a gutter, like a U-shaped metal thing along
Right.
the drip edge that funnels it down into like a little thing on the side of the house that then shoots out toward the bottom. Like here, it's mainly just holes at the roof that shoot water out past the house, is what I'm guessing. So it's different, or at least what I'm seeing is a lot different. So
Yeah, I don't know exactly how Arizona works. I mean, like I said, Mark, I would have to travel to state. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Know what their regulations are. Like an hour away from me, the regulations and the codes and everything are totally different. So it makes a world of difference.
yeah. And here in Phoenix, I think that it's the code is different city by city. So like in the Phoenix area, we got like how many cities all squished together? You got Glendale, you got Gilbert, you got, you know what I mean, Scottsdale, you got a ton of cities all together. So, and from my understanding, each one has their own building code. So,
Yeah, even our county. I mean, every county now. I heard anything a property. Don't quote me on it, but I believe that they're gonna be any improvement of property. You got to pull a permit.
yeah. And like here, everybody requires permit, but I'm just saying like code is, at least for building roofs, I'm not sure. But each city will have its own code and, anyway, some stuff that maybe I'll do some research and we'll talk about also, but just know that like, hey, make sure that stuff is being done by code, and usually code is for a reason. Like people have had problems in the past and they realize like, hey, we don't want to keep having problems, so that's why we develop a building code.
Yeah, too, and like you got to follow those guidelines. The contractor has to follow those guidelines, or else the contractor itself will get dinged.
Yeah, and then like I said, also it could affect the warranty that the homeowner has paid for and stuff like that too. So
Right, exactly. Then that's what you're licensed for is like you are certified to install anything, more and less.
and does each manufacturer have their own certification process?
Yes, unfortunately, yeah. It's a process to that. Let me tell you, Mark.
And who are the big manufacturers? You got Corning Owens.
So we got Owens Corning, that's an hour away. IKO, I don't know where they're based out of. I think they're based out of Ohio. And then you have GAF. They're actually based out of here in Michigan City.
Okay, GAF is
Yeah,
cool.
which is not too bad. My personal opinion, I love IKO. That's just all hands down. Every contractor is different. Everybody installs different products and gets different warranties, depending on who you are as a contractor.
Awesome.
How,
Uh,
how
what else?
many certificates that you have in that product, basically? So more classes my guys go to, that means I can up my value of warranty.
Yeah, awesome.
And each one of my crews are certified in every product that is out there right now.
Okay, cool. That's good to know. So, awesome. What else do you think we should talk about? Like, what's that, some good information for some people about their own roofs? Like,
Um, really, if you really have any, like, I mean, every state's different, every county is different. If you feel like, hey, I found shingles on the ground, call a contractor. Homeowners, I would recommend hopping up there. Like I said, clean off your leaves, clean out your gutters. If you don't have any gutters, just clean off your roof. Um, Supposedly you can power wash your shingles now. I'm like, what in the world?
I
I'm
saw a
like,
video, a guy had like one of those circular things that you clean driveways with up on
yeah,
top of his roof, cleaning the tile. I think you sent that to me, in
yeah,
fact. That's
yeah,
pretty funny.
that's pretty nifty.
Yeah, so cool.
I mean, if you guys install like tile, I wouldn't see a problem you power washing it. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Well, I've considered going up there with a power washer and washing it. You know what I mean? Because it's tough getting down in the valley because like there's not a lot of space between the concrete tile and the metal that's underneath.
Right.
I mean, so like getting in there, like sometimes I'm in there with a knife, and it's like if I just had a power washer from above, I could just probably blow all this crap right down the roof and be done with it. So
Yeah, I don't see it a problem as long as you got a low pressure. You know what I mean? Not like full blown on pressure. You know?
I I remember one time years ago taking a power washer to a truck that I had and taking paint off with the attachment that I had. So yes, you can get too much pressure with stuff. So
Yeah. So I would highly recommend not to do too much.
maybe we'll do that service here. We'll power wash people's roofs here in the Phoenix area.
Hey man, that's got to be a good gig to get into.
Yeah, just like that. Plus, I think it would lead into like, hey, we noticed that there's X, Y, and Z on your roof also. Like, you want us to fix that while we're up here, or bring in our crew, or whatever it takes for that particular.
Well, I'm not gonna lie, Mark. I was actually gonna start up a power washing business. It's called uh I forgot what I came up with a name, but it was something kind of catchy.
Yeah, like I think it
I'll
would
have
be
to find.
wise. And then, like I said, I'm also going to be working on some sort of like estimator using AI images and stuff like that that we'll have available. I don't know what it's going to look like yet because I got to get some input, and I've probably talked to you about some of that stuff too, so that the homeowner can get like a rough idea what a roof would cost in their area. uh, and then maybe as we get some relationships with contractors, we'll have them do the work. Once again, like I think we should vet people out, or maybe Brandon's coming here, we'll start something in Arizona too. We'll see what happens as time goes on. So,
I told you, Mark, I'm going nationwide, buddy.
well, that's what I'm saying. Like, hey, I want to be a part of that if you do. So, but we're also, like I said, I want to interview contractors. I want to provide a little bit of value here for people that have roofs, knowing what to look for in a honest contractor. That's why we got our little name there, the Honest Roofer Podcast. Like, we're talking about what we believe is honesty, and just honesty is, to me, is like telling people up front, like, hey, you got this and it's going to cost this or whatever, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and then holding them their feet to the fire if they, you know what I mean? Like, and a lot of times, like with a roof, you need it in writing, uh, what they're going to do, because they could screw you if it's not in writing. So if you
Well,
don't have a contract,
I don't even know if a lot of contractors keep above or keep ahead of time, but they're talking about in the state of Indiana that you're going to have to take a class on, let's say, framing, concrete work, electrical, plumbing, everything, every aspect to a home that you're going to have to get certified for now.
to be just a roofer.
Well, just in general, I mean, I'm not just a roofer. I
Well,
build.
you're a general contractor, so yes,
Right.
in that respect, like even Arizona has that where you have to have so many years in the trades. Then you can take your licensing exam and all that stuff, and then you're a
Yeah, but now
registrar of
they're,
contractors.
they're
And
going to get a license for everything now. A general contracting license, that's just general basic stuff. In theory, like even to starting on a handyman business, you got to have that. Like, okay, I got to have a general contracting license, put up curtain rods.
which is crazy to me. Like, I mean, in one respect, like I know how to do a lot of stuff, so I do a lot of stuff around my own house. Like I would never do my own roof because I know that I would probably screw it up. So But as I learn more on here, maybe I'll be out there on the roof with you as and figure it all out. So, anyways, I think that wraps it up. This is episode 3. Like, we're gonna get better at these because hey, we're gonna put in the practice. So stick around. You guys come back if you want to learn about your own roof. And Brandon is here. And like I said, we're gonna try to interview some other contractors as well, some manufacturers, all that good stuff. So
I think that we should interview manufacturer companies first.
okay.
That's
Like I
just
said, I've kind of talked to somebody. His name is Slavic, and he works for SWD, and so maybe we'll both be on there, or I just got to figure out from him when he can do it and all that good stuff. So
yeah, I think we should do manufacturer companies, then other contractors as well after that. And let's see what the contractors say afterwards.
yeah, like I'm game to do it. However, once again, it's gonna kind of be audience driven too. Like, hey, what do we get eyeballs on? Like, what are people interested in? What do they want to know about their roofs? What do they want to know about to like help extend it? Make sure that they're keeping an eye on their contractor and they're not getting screwed and all that good stuff. So,
Yes, sir.
all right, brother. Thanks for joining me.
Yes.
We'll get better at these. The format will get better. We'll eventually have better filming because I'll know what I'm doing, and we'll probably do it in some other format than what we're doing. But there is that. So have a blessed day.
Hey, you as well, buddy.
All right. Well,
All
have a
right.
good one. Bye.